there's a life I could have known, one beyond my wildest dreams. Maybe that road could have carried me to streets of gold, but things aren't always as they seem. Looking back on all the chances that I missed, some I held, some slipped away. One street over where my memories exist, I wondered what would change, I really couldn't say. In this life there's nothing certain, except the curtain that rises to the stage. Silly games of second guessing, I just forget the lessons that I couldn't learn. Because one street over there's a life I could have known, that would have kept me from the one I had today. Time's gone by, I've traded black dirt into clay.
Oh, hello. Good morning. We're going to interrupt the guys. This is 1100 WSGI. I'm U-Turn LaVern. And yes, this is one street over. What's happening, y'all? One street over from where you live in. Today is White House Day. So we have Mandy Christenson, as always, from the White House Chamber. And we have, for the first time, Amanda Buckliew.
Yes, ma'am.
And now you got to get on that microphone for me.
Sorry about that.
But that's okay. And you are the interim city administrator.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, we have city manager. Y'all have city administrator. I have to keep everything because it's all different. So welcome.
Thank you.
Y'all had to say bye to Jerry.
I know it was a hard day for everybody. I mean, I've worked with Jerry for 16 years and directly for him for like 14 and a half now. So it was a really hard, really sad day for all of us.
He's adorable. I just love him. I told him, I said, so are you going to, invite him back in? He goes, I'm going to be in Franklin. No. No. But he's going to do some really cool things. He's going to be fun to keep up with, and I hope y'all will keep me up to date on him because he's a lot of fun to have on the show.
We've talked to him a couple of times since he left. He came by and saw us last Thursday, and he said since he retired, his wife has kept him busier than he was when he was working. So he's like, so far, I'm not getting a whole lot of rest.
Well, and most people who, my husband and I are retirement age, people tell us, but we intend to teach until we're 75. I mean, this is our second career. And so we've got a lot of friends that are retiring, but they're busier now than they were when they were working. Mm-hmm. It's just they get involved. My friend on here, Paul Rainey, that comes on here, it's Lawrence Rainey, but that's Paul Rainey. He is a 41-year retired Metro Fire. So, and now everybody's like, hey, Paul, can you come? Hey, Paul, hey, Paul. I'm always the one. I'm like, hey, Paul, do you know how to do this? And so, and his wife, she does tutoring and all the things, and they volunteer everywhere. So yeah, they'll stay busy. Well, welcome.
Thank you. I appreciate the welcome.
We are so thrilled to have you. And so before we get into that, though, we were checking on this situation. As I pulled up the social media links to get us signed on, we noticed this terrible wreck. I'm on 65, and you said it's at Bethel Road?
It's at Bethel Road. Yeah, I heard on the way over on the radio, they mentioned it. I believe they said both northbound lanes are closed and one southbound lane is closed for first responders. And based on the photo that we saw, it looks like it is a very serious accident.
Yeah, there was a fire event, and so guys, if that's your usual route of travel, let me put my traffic reporter hat on and just say, and I don't have any place I can, check in and get you any specifics, but you're going to want to check into that and avoid that because that is not going to be cleaned up anytime soon. Mm-mm. And so anyway, there you go. Back to the traffic reporter. And we were talking about school starting. Yes, I'm in my first day of school attire today because Robertson County kids are back for a half day today. And buses are on the road. Be careful of the buses. Please, please, please. My husband does double duty. He teaches criminal justice at Springfield, but he drives 2 bus routes as well. So he starts at like 5:45 and finishes at about 5 every day, somewhere in there. But nonetheless, or maybe 5, I don't even know. But so he'll tell you some of the crazy things that buses do when they're driving. I mean, that people do around buses.
Scary stuff.
Yes.
Very scary stuff.
I'm telling you, people, please be careful around the buses and watch out because these kids A lot of them are either I don't want to go to school or I'm super excited about it, and they're not paying attention. So
Right.
please, that's all my PSA stuff. So we
Well,
get
and
right into it.
to jump onto that,
you need to mention that.
because of that wreck that's on the interstate, our community, White House, is going to be impacted greatly because people will be getting off to navigate and find alternate routes.
Yes.
So in addition to school starting back up, we are going to have a lot of interstate traffic and tractor trailers coming through our community. So
Yes.
parents, please, if you're taking your kids to school, give yourself extra time, and make those plans and businesses as well. But it will definitely be impacted probably for several hours,
I
if
would
not
imagine.
not all day.
Yeah, it very well could. And keeping in mind that the Robertson County side is back in school, Sumner
Right.
County side does not start until Monday
Yes.
because of that data breach.
Yeah.
Can any of y'all speak to that? Do we have any idea what happened with that?
No,
I mean,
don't.
that's one of those. I really want to talk to somebody over there and say, "What in the world?"
Well, we've got
You know.
something lined up for you for that. So
Good. So
we'll just lead right into that.
Okay,
Our
okay.
August Investors Luncheon is Tuesday, August 18th.
Okay.
And it is our State of the Schools Luncheon. So we
you go.
will be welcoming Dr. Scott Langford from Sumner County Schools as the school director,
Okay.
and Dr. Danny Weeks. And
Okay.
they will be giving us an update on things that are happening in school.
including that.
I imagine Dr. Langford, he doesn't even have to do a PowerPoint. He's got his whole presentation probably lined up.
Like, here we go. Here's what happened. So,
Yes.
and we'll just keep in mind too that now I talked to one of the teachers there. I have we have kind of a family connection there,
Mhm.
and he is going to be one of the coaches over at White House, the Sumner County side.
Oh.
And he said that they were told, Jacob, and anyway. Anyway, I forget their last name. McDonald. Yeah, Mr. McDonald.
Yes.
I think is it. Yes, that's him. And so he said that they were told that they're going to use these days in their snow date bank. So, because I know I had heard a lot of speculation for different
Yes.
people. Is it going to hurt our fall break? Is it going to hurt our spring break? No, that's the word is we received is it's going to come out of your snow days.
That is what we have heard
So
as well.
you'll be fine. You'll be
Yes.
fine.
Yeah.
So, but nonetheless, and all the other kids are going, I wish we'd have got an extra week off.
Right, I know.
Anyway, stop whining. All
There,
right.
there was much celebration at my house when the announcement came out.
Oh, yeah.
My daughter was so excited, and I went to school with Scott, and so I was feeling really bad for my classmate that he was dealing with that at the time.
Yeah.
But I didn't hate that little extra time as well. So
Especially because is this senior year?
no, she's a junior.
Junior,
So I had
but
one
yeah,
that
special.
graduated, so we're moving into college in a couple
Okay.
weeks, and then I've got one that's starting her junior year.
So super busy. And so if you get that extra week, and we got Robertson County got all the time off during the snow last year.
Yes.
So y'all didn't get quite as much time as we
Well,
did.
we
I
were
don't
out a
think.
lot.
Yeah, but anyway. All right. You see, it takes us a while, Amanda, to say hi. Amanda's going, why am I here? She's like, I'm here to talk about the city, and we're just talking about anything and everything else.
Hey, I'm open to talking about whatever. I'm easy this morning.
Well, so do you reside in Sumner County? Because that's one thing about Jerry, you don't necessarily live there when you work there.
I am the closest employee to City Hall.
Okay.
If you stand in my office, you can see my house.
Oh, there you go.
I'm literally across the street from City Hall, which was not intentional when I bought the house.
Yeah.
And then they moved City Hall.
Oh, how funny.
When I bought it, I was like, I don't know that I want to be this close, but there's a church between me and the old City Hall.
Yeah.
And then we moved it. And so now I can sit on my couch and drink my coffee and see my office and vice versa. But
It's like,
it's not bad. It's actually really nice.
Yeah.
I can walk to work a lot of days.
yeah.
And one time I saw a dog escape out my window from my yard, so I was able to go round him up before he got too far. So there are benefits to it.
That's hysterical. That is hysterical. So, I mean, there you go. I love it. But, that is close. I mean, that's almost like working from home, isn't it?
Yeah.
Almost, except they still make me put on suits to come to work,
I got you.
unfortunately.
I got you. I was so impressed. I'm sitting here in my school T-shirt, and she's putting the blazer on and getting that polished executive look before we turn the cameras on.
I do have a board meeting tonight, so that's part of the reason for the suit. If I don't have a board meeting, traditionally I don't wear them, but
Yeah,
today
that's your-
today is industrial development board meeting tonight, so I'll be going to that as well.
Okay, so I'll tell you, and so many exciting things. Everything we hear about the White House community. This is, I don't know if they told you, this was something that a friend of mine here in the Springfield community cornered me on more than one occasion at an event and said, LaVern, we need to have the White House community in, just like you have Ryan and the different ones in Springfield, because we want to know, as Robertson County, what's going on that end of the county, and we don't get enough information. So there you go. This is a listener requested thing, and it's been wonderful. And I would talk
really well
to Mandy a lot, but having this locked in monthly visit is just so crucial. So we do appreciate you being here.
Well, thank you.
So where do we want to start, ladies?
Well, I mean, we started talking about some chamber activities coming up, so we can continue talking about the month of August.
Okay.
I'll remind everybody that our State of the Schools luncheon is on August 18th, and that features Dr. Danny Weeks from here in Robertson County and Dr. Scott Langford, and that's open to the public to attend. Our friends at Buckliew Barbecue will be catering, so we're excited about that. And then we have got on August 25th, our friend Chris Armentrout with Valor Mortgage. I brought my mug because I knew there would be a commercial later. So he is our sponsor of Power Hour. And this month we will be gathering for a casual networking lunch at De La Paz at 11:30. And so that's one of our oldest Mexican restaurants in White House. So I would invite your listeners to join us at that. And then on August 28th, we have our Music Under the Stars, and we will be bringing Mayor Poole over with the Homewreckers to perform at that event. And that has got food trucks, a lot of free activities for the kids, some inflatables, and just a lot of fun. It's a miniature version of First Friday Night Market. So.
Okay. And if you've never seen Mayor Buzzy Poole on stage, he's first and foremost a rock star. He's fun.
He wears a lot of hats. That's for sure.
Does. And I got to I've had Buzzy in here several times. His professional background is fascinating as well.
Oh, it is, really.
It's really quite interesting because people go, Buzzy, he's just playing guitar. Oh, you have no idea. He's got a very diverse background. So he's a lot of fun. But getting him, it's fun to see them rock out.
Yeah, they're great. They're a great band, a lot of fun.
They're so good.
Yeah.
So that'll be fun.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, so
Great
we're
schedule.
very excited about that. A full August already, so...
It's going to be Halloween and all the things before we blink, y'all.
I know. So, yeah, back to school happens, and then it just all goes so quickly.
It does. So do you want to chime in here? What have you got going on as far as the city?
The big thing that kicked off, of course, is Jerry retired. They're in the process of replacing him, and not that we'll ever have another Jerry, but someone who can come in and fill his shoes. Yeah. Outside of that, the big thing we did in July was spend a lot of money. The department heads are always chomping at the bit for the new budget year to roll around. So there was a lot of equipment bought at the last board meeting. We approved Callista Road widening contract for that. So we should start seeing that. Actually, they started working on the wastewater relocation this week or last week. So that'll have to be relocated, and then we're going to start working on widening the road and putting in sidewalks and all kinds of things in a section of Callista Road. Those were really the big things, I think.
So when you're talking wastewater, here in Springfield, when we hear wastewater, we're in the middle of building a plant. And so we hear, but you're just talking about moving lines.
Yes.
Yeah. Wastewater, they're not moving a plant. They're just moving the lines for the road extension.
We are upgrading our plant again. We just did a major upgrade, and now we're moving on to the next stage. Okay. The exciting wastewater is super exciting if you talk to our director about it. But right now, the
director really likes it.
He does, and he is
he's very knowledgeable.
It's super interesting, really.
It really is when you get into it, but it's very technical. That's the hard part about it. Yeah. But they're going to be rebuilding our headworks. That's part of the plant, but it's what we like to call the stinky part. It's the part that creates the most odor. So once we get that actually replaced, which will be about a 3 to 5 year completion, it will reduce the odor out in that area of town, hopefully significantly. That's our plan.
Well, see, and you don't know this. I live next door to the wastewater plant here, and we have land that, comes up next to it. And I don't know what it was about our plant. It's never really been a problem for us. And I mean, it just hasn't been, and it's going to be even better. And so what they can do with wastewater applications and things, it is fascinating. And I got to tell you, they put it right back into our water sources. They're going to be like right there on the corner, bringing it back in. And the EPA keeps such a close eye on it, but it is really fascinating. And I know a lot about it because I've been their neighbor since 1992.
Oh yeah.
So I've been there a long time. And, but that, yeah. And it just, so it's nice to see the improvements in what they can do. It's really fascinating.
It really is. And our plant is we just did a plant assessment.
Yeah.
So we did a major upgrade, did a plant assessment, and we're looking at making changes over the next 15 years that will carry us through 2050.
There you go. And it's something, and before you know it, you'll be at 2050 and you'll need something more because you just never know. But the innovative change, when we moved here in 92, the plant had just been, I mean, it wasn't that old and it was the latest and the greatest. And so, because we almost didn't buy our property because of the plant.
Sure.
And we checked into it and everything said it's, it can be a good thing. And so it has been awesome. And so as you're, getting innovative, I mean, things change constantly. Can you imagine what it's going to be just in 10 years?
Oh yeah.
I mean, everything we're doing is pretty much obsolete the minute we get it done. I mean,
Yes.
that's the reality of it, but you just have to you have to be thinking forward, like you said, and constantly looking down the road.
Yeah.
But,
I mean, and that's the case across the board with
Yes.
all technology. Things are changing so rapidly. So
They
it's
say
fascinating.
each generation of technology takes 50% longer to produce than the last generation, or 50% less time to produce than the last generation. So each change is getting faster and faster and faster, and that's why we're seeing so many changes.
We have something we talk about because I teach audio and video in Greenbrier. And so we talk about the knowledge doubling curve. It said that 100 years ago, prior to 1900, if you were to develop something innovative, say you cure cancer, it's going to take 100 years for it to span the globe. I mean, literally, because of the way you share information.
Right.
You have to send it on a ship and, all these things. And so now it's hours
yeah.
for it to span the globe. If you do something innovative and you cure cancer, it's going to make it around the globe in hours,
Right.
like seven hours.
Well, and the
something like that.
translation effect too,
Yep.
because communicating in
Yeah.
the 1900s was so different. By the time it reaches, the fifth or sixth person or organization, so different, and we've eliminated a lot of that problem.
Right. It is fascinating, guys. And that's why I love, talking all this stuff because people don't realize how involved it is to run our cities and the infrastructure. I mean, we talk about, we want to build some houses. We want to do this. Well, what about the roads? What about the schools? What about
Yeah.
all the things that have to support that? And then the people who are already living there, they're like, well, we don't want to have to pay extra taxes because you want to, I mean, it's just a lot. It is a lot.
It
So,
really is.
yeah.
And people don't understand the processes and the
Yeah.
steps. Like, why don't you just do this? Just like in the school system. Well,
Right.
why can't you just do it this way? Well, because this, and this. And so it takes a lot to understand and to inform your residents and your citizens. And speaking of informing, and we had another big thing happen at Board of Mayor and Alderman meeting, and that we appointed a new alderman.
Yes. I did not even think about that. They chose, I was thinking because she was appointed,
Yes.
officially sworn in a week later. They chose the new alderman from Ward 2. That's what I was thinking. Jeremy Sisk, our previous alderman, actually stepped down and came back to work for the city, which is why he stepped down. He is back on the road. He is one of our police officers.
Oh, cool.
And they took applications and interviewed and chose Alderman Molly Platt. She was sworn in a couple of weeks ago, I believe, and she's excited in getting on board. We've already met with her a couple of times to bring her up to date on things going on with the different departments. And she's planning on running, as far as I'm aware. It's an interesting situation because Jeremy stepped down a little bit before midterm. He was not set to be reelected this year. Because it was before the election, we're required to hold another election. She'll be on it as a special election for a 2-year term to get her back on her normal schedule. But as far as I'm aware, she is planning. She's pulled her petition, so I expect to see her on the ballot this year as well.
Is that a November ballot?
Yes.
So it's not like next week or no,
Thursday.
Thursday is the, the primary. It's crazy. I think we're all ready for that to be.
Yeah, so we had 2 alderman seats that were open. Ward 1 and 3
Okay.
would normally be open, correct?
Correct.
And so, and then of course our mayor's seat is also up for election
Right.
this year. And because of that resignation from Alderman Sisk, it's put us where we have 3 seats on the ballot this year,
Wow.
or 4 really
Okay.
with the mayor's seat.
So the 4 out of 5 on our board will be up for election in November this year.
So do you have anybody in the city that's on this primary ticket? Anybody that's having to run in
No.
a primary? Okay. So, because I mean, that's one thing that you get into as well is if it requires a primary. So,
Yes.
Right now,
Okay.
I believe municipalities are not required to do primaries still.
Okay. Okay. See, that's the thing. This is a conversation I had with Ron Martin when he first started coming into the show, is understanding the structure of government. Because when, we have our county government, we have County Mayor Billy Vogel,
Right.
and you have county commissioners, and I understand that of it. And then when we bring the city in, then it's like, well, we have a mayor, but his role is not as involved as Mayor Vogel is.
Mhm.
And it's a city manager or a city administrator
Mhm.
that is more in that role that maybe Billy would hold at the county level. It's interesting, and it's all different. Now the counties, just kind of get in the weeds for a second, is dictated by the state.
Yeah.
The state just says, here's what you have to do as a county with your county mayors, right?
Yes.
I
Yeah.
think that's my understanding. But the cities is it's at the the pleasure of the citizens and the aldermen
And the charter, it depends
charter,
how the
yeah.
city's charter is set up, because each city is different,
Yeah.
and how they elect their mayors. I believe Goodlettsville appoints mayors once their alderman seats are filled, and so there are a lot of different within each city is different. And so Hendersonville, for example, has a full-time mayor. Gallatin has a full-time mayor, so they are
And like
run
Billy
like
would
this
be.
like the
Okay.
city administrator. Yes,
Interesting.
yeah. So it's all
Interesting.
very different, and no
Yeah.
community is alike necessarily. And then even at the county level, they don't control what happens within the cities.
Yeah.
It's in the county. So
Right.
it's a lot to digest, and for people to understand. Even our officials that run for office, sometimes once they get into office, they're like, oh, I understand this differently than I did before.
I can't do that.
Yes.
We have, I get tickled that candidates are like, I'm going to do this. And I'm like, no, you're not. No, you're not. And
Yeah.
I've actually had people sit here and go, and I'm like, well, you can't do that. That's not your job, and they're like, what do you mean? And it's like, well, no,
Yeah.
I digress. But anyway, so y'all don't have anybody on the ballot coming up on this
On
election on
Thursday.
Thursday. But please get out and vote.
Yes.
I'm assuming all the early voting is done. I'm a day of voter. Are you an early voter or a day of?
When it's in White House, I like to early vote, because
Okay.
I have to go outside. I'm where my zone is. I
Yeah.
have to go almost to Portland, and so when they hold the early voting in White House, Sumner County does satellite early voting. Robertson County doesn't do that yet,
They
but they
should.
will
Yeah.
hopefully
We've
one
tried
day.
to push for that.
Yeah, but so I do like to do that. Although there is something special, especially those November elections, voting on election day. There's some excitement, and so I do a little bit of both.
Yeah, see, I'm a day of. I'm
Yeah.
always a day of. You day of or early?
Early, always early.
Always early.
But I'm spoiled. One of the
Yeah.
satellite locations is on City Hall campus.
Yeah.
So I just have to walk up the hill and vote.
Yeah.
So it's really hard to make myself vote on the day of, when I can just conveniently walk up there after work and take care of it
Yeah.
in 2 minutes.
That's just it. And you just make sure you do. I've only missed one vote that I'm aware of in my life, and it's when I was on my honeymoon, because we forgot to get, and that was like in '88. Okay. And we forgot to get a absentee ballot.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess that was prior to early voting. You
Yeah.
couldn't early vote. So we would have had to have had an absentee ballot, and we were in the Smokies. So anyway, but nonetheless, please get out and vote on Thursday if you haven't already. And the schools in Robertson County, of course, will be closed because they're used as polling sites for these students. But as teachers, we have a professional development day. And in Sumner, it's not going to matter because
Right.
you're not in school. So
Correct.
you'll be just fine there.
Yes.
So anyway, well, I tell you what, let's pause, and since you got your mug there, let's talk about Chris Armtrout and the experienced loan officers at Valor Mortgage. How long have you known Chris?
Yes, I have known him 4 or 5 years, maybe.
Okay. And it's because he's so plugged in and involved in the community.
Yes.
And it's like when I'll start talking about Chris and Valor Mortgage, people go, "Oh, I know Chris. I saw him at this meeting or that meeting," and that just shows you that he's vested.
He is,
in
and
the
he
community.
is, and he's so
Yeah.
friendly. He's a character. He likes to
Yes.
joke around, but when it comes to business, he is serious, and he can really work some magic, and that's what you need in a loan officer.
You better believe it. And that's what we like to remind everybody. You don't really, when you think about mortgage loan officers and mortgage loan companies, you think, oh, I'm not buying a home, or I'm not, maybe I've, got my loan. Well, do you have the best interest rate? Would you want to do a refinance? We talk to Brian Pulley all the time about this refinance that Chris pulled together for him effortlessly right around the time of COVID and saved him a lot of money. And then I've talked about VA loan options. I've got a kid that's a veteran. And I've been stunned at some of the things he's been able to do through VA loans that you can probably do too if you have access, if you're a veteran. Go and ask Chris the questions. It's like, exactly what do I have available to me as a veteran? My son's been able to buy a second home to where they have rental property now, and that's about investing in your future, because that's what we talk about. Whether it be investing in your future, that first home, refinancing, it doesn't matter. Valor Mortgage is ready to serve you. And they have those VA loans. They have FHA loan options, conventional and jumbo financing, and all the tools to get you to the closing table, no matter what your plans are, to make sure that you've got neighbors helping you with one of the biggest decisions you ever make. And that's, buying property and taking care of those mortgage options. But they're not going to treat you like a number, like these 1-800, oh, have you got any equity in your home? They'll drive you crazy. Don't do it. Reach out to Valor Mortgage today. They're ready to serve you. You can call them 615-671-9178, 615-671-9178, or go to valor.mortgage. Get pre-approved today, because when it matters most, you deserve a lender you can trust. Buy with confidence. Buy with Valor. Valor Mortgage, NMLS number 1210804, DBA of Encore Lending Group, NMLS 1249911, equal housing lender, subject to credit approval. Rates and terms subject to change without notice. Not a commitment to lend, and let them know you turned and Mandy sent you. Yeah, very good. All right, and on with the show. And again, I love it when we can do those little tie-ins, and I'm just really so glad you got the note to bring your Valor Mortgage cup with you today.
Yes, I thought about that this morning. I actually was firing on at least one cylinder this morning.
I'm telling you, you got it going. Well, where do we want to go next? Do you have anything as far as the chamber business that, hey, we talked about August, but have you got some special events and things like that? There are going to be ticketed events that people need to be thinking about.
We do. I mean, we always have something going on at the chamber. So we have got a couple of things really that are coming up. One thing that we're working on finalizing the details is October is manufacturing month. And sometimes our manufacturers kind of get left out a little bit, but they're really the lifeblood of the community, because they are our employers. And so we want to do something to celebrate our manufacturers and highlight them. And so we've got a new series called Made in White House, because, just like with Electrolux, what happens there? And, unless you've been inside that facility, you can't really appreciate all the things that are happening within the manufacturing buildings. And so we are going to have a breakfast where we will highlight and celebrate our manufacturers and industries in the community. And then throughout the month of October, we are going to have a Made in White House Learn at Lunch, where people can sign up to attend. We Old Hickory Bat Company is in our community. They are going to be one of our tour sites. And so if they make bats for Major League Baseball players, and right in White House. Yeah, it's amazing. Really? Yes, highly sought after bats. And so people will be able to purchase a ticket, come have a boxed lunch, hear a little bit from the plant manager or plant owner, and then take a tour of that facility. So it's really a behind the scenes look of what's happening, and gives you that opportunity to put a little more pride in our community and talk about all of the great things that are happening in White House. And so Tate Ornamental's on the list.
That was the one I was going to mention. Yes. You stole my plug there. Yes. I love Tate Ornamental.
Oh, and it's amazing.
Such a cool place.
He has an amazing story. Yes. He's local. Yeah. Chad with Old Hickory Bats is local. I actually went to school with all of them. And so it's exciting for me to be able to spotlight the people that have stayed in our community and are doing and giving back to the community as well.
The Bat Company, I had no idea. Yeah. That's somebody I'd like to get on. I would love to, and I don't know that I've ever had the guys from Tate Ornamental on. We had an opportunity as career and technical education teachers to tour some of the facilities. And when they took us to Tate, I was like, what? I had no idea this was here. And I recommend it so many to kids that are not, they're like, I don't want to go to college, Miss Vivio. And do you know anything about any of the companies? And Tate's one I really,
Oh, yeah.
that. And I know y'all don't have, AirTech,
Yes.
that's here in Springfield,
Yes,
but
AirTech.
that's another one that I just absolutely love.
AirTech and Tate both really believe in the students coming out of school. They want to
Yes.
invest into the younger generation and are really looking to hire
believe it.
students. And part of that is because they can sculpt and mold them to what they need. But those two businesses are crucial with our high school students.
Well, as I know that AirTech, their mantra is "We hire you to retire you."
Yes.
And their story is interesting, and Tate's is as well. And I really want to hear about this bat company. How long have they been around?
Oh gosh.
And you said it's called Old Hickory.
Old Hickory Bat. Decades?
Really?
Yeah. I mean, over a decade.
How in the world do I not know about
over
that?
15 years
Yeah.
that I know of.
Really?
Yes. Yeah. So
Interesting. 'Cause,
Yeah,
I got a little baseball player. I mean, my 10-year-old grandson is on the dirt bags up in Mount Juliet. He's on a travel team.
oh, okay.
Oh, he's good.
Yes.
He's really good.
Yeah.
And the money that they spend on bats,
Oh, yeah.
what is like, for his birthday,
Mhm.
just cash, because this child's bats and gloves and all this stuff is crazy.
It is.
But
And that's a huge
I mean,
commitment
that's
for
what-
the parents too, because having
Yeah.
a child on a travel team, you're gone every weekend, you're in hotel rooms, you're packing
Yep.
coolers, and you're at the ballpark, and you got
Yep.
a unique farmer's tan.
It's very interesting. I had a little bit of that kind of tan there for a little while. I don't
Yeah.
get to nearly, all that they have going on because we're all spread out.
Yes.
But yeah, it's a lot of fun. But when you mention that, I'm gonna have to ask them about if they have any bats from
Yes.
there.
Yeah.
So that's really cool. Is it all wood bats?
Yes.
It would be all wood
Mhm.
bats. Interesting. I wonder if they make those pencil bats that everybody's. The kids have y'all know what I'm talking about. The kids are into this pencil bat, and
I
it's a
don't.
wood bat.
Hmm.
I think.
Never
And
heard
it's-
of it.
Or it looks like a pencil. And
Interesting.
they're not cheap.
I will find
They're not
out.
cheap.
We-
But I need to have them in. I want to know more.
Yeah, I'm
So-
going this Thursday to do some site selection and things
Yeah.
like that for the event. So I'll find out a little bit more
Yeah.
and get you connected. But
That
yeah,
would be such a cool thing too to get some students plugged into,
Yes,
and get some
absolutely.
video and stuff. So, are y'all going to do some kind of a feature on because you're so great at doing that on
Yes.
social media to write and
Yes.
show it to my kiddos? Because I don't think they want me to bring my field trip. That's a lot.
yeah, no,
bring
we
all
will
the
definitely.
kiddos.
And so, like some of our Tate Ornamental, they can host
Yeah.
40 or 50 people, but Old Hickory Bat, we're thinking 15 or 20.
Yeah,
So
that's
this is
what's up.
going to be kind of a sought after
Yeah.
event. So people will need to check it out, see what they can work out. And of course, October is a little bit tricky for us because we have 2 fall breaks that we're navigating around. And so, Chad's already said I can't do this because I'll be on fall break. So, but we'll get
Yeah.
those dates out. We're trying to get all of that solidified so that we can get that marketing done by the middle of August. So, when I'm here in September, definitely we'll be talking to you about all of those opportunities once
Very
we have
good.
them nailed down.
Very good, because like you said, those will be sought after tickets.
Yes.
If I were available for these, I'm so interested in what they're doing in
Yes.
these companies. It's fascinating.
It really
And
is.
I teach high school. These kids have questions that they're starting to say, I'm about to graduate. What am I going to do?
Yeah.
And I don't want to go to college. Well, there's so many amazing companies here in this area. Just fascinating. And do we have anything new? Let's kind of go back to the city side of it. And do we have anything that you see coming in that you could say, hey, this is about to hit and we're going to have these coming in soon? Anything like that we haven't talked about?
Right now, nothing that I'm aware of. I mean, we had a few small places open up.
Yeah.
We had Marco's Pizzas opened recently. Pelican, is it Pelican Ice?
Pelican Snowball Ice.
Snowball,
Yeah.
yeah.
I think Marco's is not quite open.
Are they not yet?
Quite. I don't
Okay.
think.
Yeah. So it's coming.
But yeah, Marco's.
Okay.
And of course, we have Longhorn Steakhouse will be opening in September.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
From an industrial standpoint, we've got that project that we're working on with TVA, Union Springs. It's a new industrial development. Robertson County Economic Development Board is a huge partner and leading the charge for us on that, trying to find us just the right businesses to come into that area. So once that takes off, that site's been developed, a little bit of work's been done on it. They'll be doing some more. They just got a big grant so that they can do some more infrastructure work. And so we're expecting that to take off. TVA approached White House in Robertson County several years ago because they had identified that site. And so it's been a process to get that. But now Robertson County Economic Development Board owns that site. Before it had options with private individuals. And so we're moving in the right direction. But this is definitely not a sprint. It's a marathon when it comes to industrial development. But we're working on it.
So that's what you're meeting about tonight, right? I mean,
Not about
but you're meeting with the industrial board tonight.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. Not about Union Springs.
And it's the City of White House Industrial Development Board.
Not Robertson
County.
Yes.
Again, all of the different, yes.
I mean, it just trying to keep it straight. So I
Yes.
appreciate you clarifying that. So because I've heard bits and pieces about that particular development. I had not heard it named.
Yes.
So that was the thing. I was like, okay, that's different. But yeah, okay. So that's Robertson County, and this is White House City. You got to pay attention, people. You got to pay attention and follow along. Because I mean, I can't even imagine being in a city where you split having to, the two counties. That's got to be. How does that work for White House City administration?
It means twice as many meetings.
Wow.
Because everything that Robertson County has that the city administrator attends as far as different meetings, there's also the counterpart in Sumner County. So rather than just one
There's no shortage
economic
of
development, there's two, or everything is doubled up.
Yeah.
It also makes it interesting for funding purposes because you have to make sure whatever project you're on, you're putting it in the appropriate county.
Wow.
It makes collecting property taxes more difficult, sending out property taxes more difficult. Everything is done in double. Our finance department receives double the amount of taxes from different organizations. They just have to be in touch with twice as many people, which just makes it more interesting.
Oh, yes. God bless you.
It's opportunity.
It's a lot. Yes, it is.
It is.
Yes, it is. God bless you, because that's a lot.
Yeah.
That's a lot. When you talk about we were talking a little bit about how how everything works. And once I got into the school system and understood why we do what we do and the structure of it all, and people are like, we need to fix the school, blah, blah, blah. It's like, this is what we've built. This is the way it works. And if you want to make change, then come on and help us out and help us navigate the waters to make you can't, trying to change it, just talking about it from the outside, you can't do.
Yes.
You need to be boots on the ground inside and going, okay, well, why are we doing this? Well, maybe we do it this way. It's a conversation my husband and I have all the time. And it's like, well, let's speak up and say something in love and respectful, but say, why are we doing this? Can't we do it this way? But it's what we've built, and it's the way it works, and the way the infrastructure works is what you have to navigate. And people just don't realize that.
Yes. Yeah.
And
they need to realize that, posting on social media is not going to affect that change.
Yeah.
That they have got to have those conversations. Just because they stir something up on a hit page or, post anonymously and start something, that someone has to carry it forward.
Yeah, exactly. And I just keep telling everybody, if you want to make a difference, you have to get on, you change it from the inside out. And there's so many wonderful programs and wonderful things they can do. When you see jobs available at the city, in your office, if you see something, if they need somebody secretarial or anything, get your foot in the door and come in there and understand how it works.
Right.
From the inside out, and don't just run your mouth about it, y'all. I mean, it's like, I have a thing on I have my business card, and I put this on. I put little things on my test, right? And I'll put on there, if you want the world to change, if you want the world to change, you have to want to change the world. What does that mean to you? And I have that on my cards. And the kids, it's interesting because it's like, well, if you want the world to change, you have to be willing to help.
Yes.
You gotta roll your sleeves up and get in there, Yeah. And so I appreciate anybody that's doing what y'all are doing, because people have no idea.
Well, and that's, a bit of a concern, honestly, because in the county commission, we had one of our seats not filled. Yeah. One of our alderman seats that's open this year, so far, no one has pulled papers to get certified. And so, I think that people, and maybe it's because of social media, they're more hesitant to serve because people are not as kind as they used to be, or, they share their opinions more freely. But, it's really important to instill that service into our students right now so that they're willing to serve and lead in the future because, I don't know what's going to happen. We have until August 20th to see if anyone pulls papers. The sitting alderman has not pulled his papers for it yet. So it's going to be interesting. And then I guess it'll be an appointment situation. We'll have to
take applications,
consult with the election commission on how to make sure that the city does that right. So then that falls back on the employees to make sure that they're following through and doing their due diligence. And so it's a lot.
Wow. So, but now you mentioned the county commissioner seat is open as well.
Yes. Yeah. One of the seats representing the White House area.
I had heard that mentioned whenever, I don't know, I guess maybe when I had Mayor Vogel in. We've only got him in one more time.
I know, it's hard to believe, isn't it?
I know. I can't hardly believe it. And I'll just kind of tease this. You have to see the video of Mayor Vogel talking about Notre Dame burning. It is the funniest thing ever. And I have it. I found it. I had been racking my brain trying to find that video because Facebook dumped everything.
Yes.
And it was an early on video that I did with him, and it is hysterical.
I would love to see that.
Oh, it's so good. It's so good. And I now have it stored in my Dropbox forever. No one will ever get it again because I've got it. But it's so great. It's so great. But I'll post that again, and as we get ready for his last visit with us, and he said something about bringing future Mayor Hoover in, and I said, I don't know, it's just me and you talk. No, but anyway, we'll see.
Yeah.
But I digress.
Farewell with Billy.
The county commissioners then, they'll appoint somebody if somebody doesn't run.
From what I understand, once they've sworn in all of the new commissioners, the new mayor, then they'll appoint someone to fill that seat. And then I'm not sure what the process will be, if that will be on the next round of elections that person. So, but
interesting. But that's what we're talking about here is the fact that so many people have so much to say about things that they're not really involved in. All they're hearing is the talking heads and you until you just get in. I have learned so much being in the school system.
Oh, I'm
sure. And I can't imagine working in city and county government, what I would learn. I ran for office one time and I found out very quickly, no.
Yeah.
God says I don't have to do that no more. So unless he makes me or makes it very clear that that's what he wants me to do, I will not be sticking my toe in the political waters anymore.
Yeah, but now you have all of the students that you can encourage to lead and serve. And so, yes.
There are so many opportunities that they could step up and serve, not just on the board, but we have so many other boards and commissions and volunteer opportunities that we're always begging people to be on.
Yeah.
And it's hard to get people to step up and do that.
What are the age requirements on like being an alderman? I mean, how young could somebody?
I do believe it's 18.
I think it is. It's young. Yeah.
It's 18 and you had to have been a citizen for 12 months within the city.
Right. 1 year.
See, that would be really cool to me to have a real responsible,
young person
to come up and be an alderman. I wonder about the county commissioner. I wonder how old you have to be.
I'm not sure.
See, I love that idea. Where I've seen in different parts of the country where somebody very young runs for mayor or something, it's quite interesting.
Yes.
Number one, they learn a lot real quick, but
but their perspective is so different too. And and sometimes, especially Robertson County White House, they haven't been here very long, or they've only lived here, but it's good to have different perspectives in your leadership.
I believe it.
So, it's important to have a good mix and to have some diverse opinions so that, you don't get in a rut.
Yeah, for sure. And I would love to see a young person come up and run for those. I'm sitting here watching the time. We'll come back. I need to do an ad real quick, and then we'll come back around and make sure we've hit everything that you brought a really big book. Is there anything in there that you need to share?
No, this was just our last agenda packet, so I brought it in case I forgot anything.
I got you. In case you needed to reference anything.
All that budgeting.
So I got you. Spending all that money. We all know about that. Well, we're going to talk about Barry and Rebecca Richards with Exit Prime Realty. Here's the thing, guys. If you missed yesterday's show, you need to watch it because we always have so much fun. They're old friends of mine. They're my longest running full-time sponsor of this show. And they clarified some stuff for me because I had thought, I didn't really understand that the Garden Gate team had changed names to Exit Prime Realty. I thought it was just another new offshoot of Exit, and they schooled me and got me all straightened out yesterday. And it's funny, the things you don't know until somebody really sits down and explains it to you. And I say that because so many people think they understand real estate. I have friends, and you know who you are. For sale by owner. What are you doing? Do you really want to do that? Because man, if you don't do it right, oh my goodness, it's going to be a hot mess. And so you think you understand something, but maybe you don't. So, it doesn't cost you anything just to have a conversation with Barry or Rebecca, just to call them and say, hey, I'm thinking about doing a for sale by owner. What do you think about that? They're going to be so honest and straightforward with you, because Barry's also one that I'm always I'll refer students that want to get into real estate to them for them to be mentored, or different people that are like, I think I want to get my real estate license. And you need to call Barry and Rebecca, and Barry will say, I might talk you out of it, because he is super honest about the ins and the outs and all the things. Well, it's just like Rebecca was talking yesterday about how that whenever housing sales are down, you don't get a paycheck if you're not selling. And that's something you have to plan for. So they're so honest and open about those kinds of things. If you want honest answers and a full explanation of what's going on in the real estate market, reach out to Barry and Rebecca today at Exit Prime Realty. He has a brokerage office here in Springfield. Her office is up in White House. They specialize in White House. They specialize in Robertson County properties because they've been here for 30 years, but they've had such a diverse background. They have worked all over, so they also buy and sell in the surrounding counties and across the state line in Kentucky, because like myself, they're originally from Kentucky. They've got some super cool historic properties right now. You can go to homesofyesterday.com, Homes of Yesterday. You can find out about the Rosenwald School that's for sale up in Cottontown. They've got a farm with a cave between here and Orlinda. Pre-war home up in East Nashville that's super cool. Farmhouse in Milldale. There's just some cool properties, guys. Well, they've got one here. The farmhouse in Milldale is the one with the cave. And then the one here at 5th Avenue, it's 703 5th Avenue West here in Springfield, is a historic property in the historical district. Reach out to them today. Again, go to sellwithbecky.com, sellwithbecky.com, or buy, B-U-Y, robertsoncounty.com, or you can give them a call, 615-504-7425, 615-504-7425, or 7424, and let them know U-Turn sent you. And I know they're part of your White House community. They come and do stuff all the time.
They do.
But, just like Chris, they are vested in the community. You see them out and about. And I love these folks that are my advertisers that are just, they care about the community, and you see them everywhere. Yeah. So reach out to them today. So where do we want to go from here, guys? You want to just kind of recap? Are we missing anything that you want to cover specifically?
I think we've hit all the high points. The one thing that is coming up that I know will make a lot of people in White House happy, we opened bids yesterday for outdoor pickleball courts. I know that will make a lot of citizens happy. Our hope is to have them open by spring. Okay. That is our goal, but as all goals, as we all know, goals are sometimes moved as time goes on. So
especially with construction projects.
Yes, don't hold us to that date, but that's kind of what we're hoping for. The bids came in very well, so my guess is that it'll be on the board agenda next month for approval. Okay. But it's going to be in the park next to or near the football field where we used to have some old outdoor exercise equipment that we pulled out a while ago. Mm-hmm. But it's going to be right there next to the little nature trail. Oh, nice. And our hope is to squeeze in as many pickleball courts as we can physically get in that spot.
Well, that was my next question. How many courts? So I
know 3 for sure.
Okay.
And then we're going to see where it goes from there on space.
I'm really wanting to get into Are either of y'all pickleball people?
No, never.
Okay. Yeah, do y'all know Danny Ashley?
Yes.
Okay, Danny's really into it. He's our historical society and with the museum and all that. And he's just into it. He's just into it. And so I talk to him all the time about pickleball when he's in here. But I really want to do it.
I see him at the Y a lot.
Yeah. Because y'all have pickleball inside your
rec center.
Your rec center.
Mm-hmm.
And so y'all have it really well covered there. But people want to be outside when the weather's nice. And fall weather and spring weather, you want to be outside, not in the 90s.
And there's 2 courts in the rec center, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
They stay locked up
pretty much all the time.
Yeah.
And we've actually got a new instructor who's coming in doing pickleball lessons as well, as my understanding. So if you're not sure how to do it, reach out to the rec center. I'm sure they can get you signed up for those. It would be nice. If you don't know the rules and all that, I know a lot of times people are intimidated to go in and try a new thing. Mm-hmm. So hopefully signing up for lessons would help them.
Mm-hmm. Who was it that I think it, I can't remember. I'm kind of want to say it was Terry Martin had one of his kids they were playing pickleball, and it was an older lady was going to play them, and they were like, "Oh yeah, we'll let you play," and she just owned them. I think I've got that right. I think he's the one who told me that.
Yeah.
I think he's the one who told me that. But some of these older folks, man, they're no joke.
That's right.
You know, so you better not, you youngins, you better not challenge some of these older folks to pickleball and think you're going to, you know, come away. You're going to get owned. But so you've got that coming up, and that's fun. What about, you know, go back to the chamber stuff and just kind of remind everybody of everything going on
Yeah,
in
that'd
August?
be great. Yeah,
Okay.
August 18th is our State of the Schools. We'll have Dr. Danny Weeks from Robertson County, Dr. Scott Langford. That's at 11:30 a.m. at City Hall in the Donald L. Eden Community Room. It's open to anyone to attend. Boom Boom Q Barbecue is going to be catering, and so would love to have you come and hear what the schools have to talk about. They'll have been in it for a few weeks, and so
Let me ask you this right now. Cost and reservations and all that, since there is
Yes.
catering, how does that work?
And so it's $25 a person.
Okay.
And they can make reservations through the chamber website, whitehousechamber.org.
Okay.
Go to our calendar events page and click on that, and it'll take you right through the process. And so would love to have you, your listeners at that. And then on August.
One more question on that. If I want to come, but I'm not interested in having the meal, can I come without a ticket?
They can. They'll need to call our office
Okay.
to confirm the reservation. That number is 615-672-3937, 615-672-3937. Just call the office Monday through Thursday, 9 to 4 p.m., and we can get you signed up for that so that we've got a seat saved for you.
Okay, good deal. I'm sorry. Those are
Yeah.
questions I meant to ask you a while ago, and then they slipped my
No,
mind.
that's
So-
absolutely
okay,
fine.
and
Yeah.
What have you got next?
And then Valor Mortgage, our Power Hour sponsor, that's
Yes.
August 25th at De La Paz. That is the original Mexican restaurant in White House. That's at 11:30 a.m. It's a casual networking lunch. It's Dutch treat. So we do ask for you to let us know that you're attending so we can let the restaurant know how many to be prepared for.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, you can eat chips and salsa, or you can buy fajitas and the whole
Just whatever you
mix,
want.
whatever you want. And that's a great way to kind of get your elbow into White House and meet some business owners and local leaders and connect that way. And then on August 28th,
Let me ask
Mm-hmm.
you a question about that. I just kind of want to slow you down and get you to kind of clarify some stuff. So at a power hour, what should I expect?
So it
how
is-
how is it, what kind of a structure is it? I'm just coming in having dinner and it's like, oh, I see that person over there, but is it, how does it work?
So
How
the
does it
way we
work?
do those is we usually will reserve several tables in the restaurant. That's why we want to know how many to
Right.
expect. De La Paz, they typically will give us their back room. So you have the opportunity to eat lunch with somebody new, sit down with a friendly face or someone you've never met before. Usually there's a few minutes of socializing and networking before the program begins, and it's very loosely called a program. And so we will stand up typically once everybody's placed their orders and go round robin around the room and allow
Okay.
people to give kind of their elevator pitch. About
Okay.
60 seconds is what we ask them to do. Sometimes you end up with somebody that talks for 5 minutes and everybody's like, are you know, like, it's time for you to come off the stage.
Little timer, egg
Yes,
timer.
yeah, like a hook. But
Yeah.
and then Chris a lot of times will moderate that. So sometimes he will come in with a unique question that he'll make people
Yeah.
answer. And so that just lets you get to know people
Okay.
a little bit better. But it's, like I said, super casual. You can bring a friend, come alone. We're very welcoming, like to have everybody there. And then Chris is always fun to
Oh,
be
yeah.
around as well.
Very good, because we talk about these things and we kind of run through them so fast
Yeah.
that it's like, if something I want to go to, I really kind of want to have a better idea of what I'm
Right.
walking
And Robertson
into.
County Chamber has very similar. I cannot
Okay.
remember what they call theirs.
Yeah.
We all have a clever name for it.
Oh, sure.
But they Lunch and Leads maybe is theirs.
Yeah.
But they have one
Okay.
too. And it's twofold. It allows for networking opportunities, bringing our businesses together, but then it also gives us an opportunity to support our restaurants and our coffee shops. And
for sure.
so, you know, we go in and like this one, typically we'll have about 30 or so people.
That's
so we're
great.
bringing 30 people to lunch at one of
You
our
better
local
believe it.
restaurants and
Yeah.
supporting the local economy as well. And so
Okay.
it serves two
And
purposes, or
remind me
many.
again of that date.
That is Tuesday, August 25th at
Okay.
11:30 at De La Paz.
Okay, and then go on. Do you have anything after
I
that?
do.
Okay.
We have got on August 28th at the Fran Hudson Amphitheater, which is in our municipal complex. We will have music under the stars, and we will have Buzzy Pool and the Homewreckers. We'll have food trucks. We'll have inflatables, free popcorn, and some other activities. That begins at 6 o'clock. I know football season will have opened at that point, so we'll be competing a little bit with that. But at 6 o'clock, music under the stars, Fran Hudson Amphitheater at the municipal complex, and usually that goes till about 8 or 8:30.
And the amphitheater is just cool.
It really is.
It's just a cool space. It's just a neat space. How long has that been open? I mean,
7, 8 years.
Yeah.
I mean,
It
it's
opened
been since
before
I've been-
COVID.
yeah, it's been since because I remember when we opened it, and it was, we were talking about it on the show, and it's just neat.
Yeah,
It's
and our
just
splash
neat.
pad is on
Yeah.
that. So we have a playground and our splash pad. The splash pad's open at the time of the concert, so
Oh,
you
good.
can bring your kids. There's a lot of activities and just a lot of free family fun.
I love it. I love it. All the, if it's free, it's for me was my motto when my kids were all home.
Yes,
Because I have 4 boys,
Yeah.
and I mean, it gets expensive.
it
very
sure
quick.
does. Quick.
Okay. Well, anything else? Because we're in the last few minutes here. Anybody got anything else that they want to cover? So, are you good? So, listen, are people invited to the mayor and alderman meetings?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
So the board meetings, the Board of Mayor and Alderman meetings, because we have a lot of boards, are the third Thursday of every month at 7 p.m.
Okay.
Public, all of our meetings are public. So all of our board meetings, we encourage the public to attend. We like seeing people get involved in the community, come in, know what's going on. There actually is a point or a place in the agenda for public comment. So if they want to talk about all the things we're doing right, that would be great. We never get those kinds of comments. But if there's something that
Hey, good job.
they feel like the city needs to be aware of, that's also a time for them to bring that to the board's attention.
Okay.
But they do need to come early so that they can sign up, because those public comments are at the beginning of the meeting.
Yes.
And unless you've signed up to speak, you can't just raise your hand and start talking in the middle of the meeting.
Does it require that you talk about something that's on the agenda?
No.
That is something that I know. I think that's kind of the thing here in Springfield. You can certainly, and you have to sign up, but it has to be something that they know, because they post the agenda. So it can be anything. So I'm
Correct.
just concerned about this.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's very good. I love it. I love it. And that's, again, tell them again when that is.
Third Thursday of every month. So in August, I haven't even looked at the date yet.
20th, I believe.
Yes, the 20th at 7 p.m. at City Hall on the second floor.
Okay. So if you have a concern or just something you want a little more clarification on, there you go.
Yeah. And all of the board meetings, I believe all of the board meetings are live streamed as well. So
Okay.
they can go to the city's website, whitehouse10.gov, and log in and watch those meetings live streamed as well. So the Board
Okay.
of Mayor and Alderman tonight is Industrial Development Board. Will it be live streamed?
Yes, it will be.
All of our, if it was live streamed or not.
Unless there is technical difficulties, which does happen, all of our board meetings are live streamed.
Yeah. And it does happen. And
beer
you
board?
just,
Beer board is live streamed as well.
That's tonight.
No, that's next week, next Monday,
Okay. I know that's
so.
right
there's
before
a lot of meetings this month.
Planning Commission.
Okay.
I got you. So there you go, guys. We got all kinds of wonderful things going on, and we appreciate you guys coming in every month so much. And we see you next month.
If the mayor's here, he prefers to come if possible based on his schedule, but otherwise I'll be here.
Okay, very good. So how long before they'll place a permanent person in this? Do you know?
That is an unknown right now. They are still working through the process. It's going to depend on when they can get through the final interviews, actually make an appointment, get a contract negotiated, because this position is the only position in the city that is considered a contract position.
Gotcha.
And then if they're currently working somewhere, they'll have to give notice, then they'll have to move.
Absolutely.
So I could be here for eternity, it feels like. No, for a few more months at least.
So, very good. Well, it's very nice to meet you, and definitely,
as well.
Hopefully, we'll see you next month, and I'll see you next month.
Yes,
And
ma'am.
we're gonna wrap it up. We're just maybe
You got to go to school, don't you?
I do, and it's the first day with the kids, and so I normally don't have a first block, but today I got kids in there, so if I get out the door 60 seconds early, it's not a bad thing. So, Dr. Osborne, I'm on my way. So we're going to be hearing from the school board, or we're going to have it's going to be all about the Robertson County Schools tomorrow. So I hope you'll join us tomorrow right here on 1100 WSGI. God bless you. Have a great day. And again, watch out for the buses. Half day today, so the kids are going to be out on the roads. Just be safe out there and have a great school year, you guys. God bless.